Hello and welcome to the Beat Brings Us Together podcast, presented by myself, Luke Hassan. It's a show where I invite talented musical individuals to discuss their story as we dig deeper into their musical journey. We'll discover where it all began for them, where they are now, and where they look for the future. This week on the podcast, we have Fleur Shore. She's going to be talking about her DJ career, her move into production, her night Undergrowth, Hannah Wants competition and tour, her residencies, and she has lots of advice for upcoming DJs. I was really looking forward to having Fleur on the podcast, and it's made for a real good one, so enjoy. Okay, so welcome into the podcast today. We have Fleur Shore, extravagant, amazing DJ, even better hair.
Hello, everybody.
And thank you for coming on.
Yeah, of course, man.
Taking time out of your busy schedule.
Yeah.
It looks kind of relentless at the moment.
Yeah, it's going really well. Things are going very well.
Oh, very good to hear. And off the back of a busy weekend as well, Shake down in London. How was that?
Yeah, it was really good. So I played 11:30 till 1:30, so sort of had to warm up the room a little bit and then pick things up. But it was a really good venue.
Oh, amazing.
Really good.
A good, so always a good set to play as well.
Yeah, of course. I love that transition from like warm up to peak time because you can really go in with it.
Yeah. Have you played that one? Played that event before, haven't you?
No, that was the first.
No. Okay.
Yeah, that was the first one. So
terrible journalism from me there. So what is the experience from that? Is it a residency or is it just like?
I think it was just like a one-off, but I think it was his first event, so he's going to keep doing them.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing more of those. I'm gonna have to make one of those.
Yeah.
So, the manager seems to have had a really good time as well.
As always.
We'll get him on the podcast later.
He'll be sleeping.
He'll be sleeping. So I wanted to start off with asking you what your first experience of music was, if you can go back that far.
Yeah. So. When I was younger, my dad always had home videos. So if you watch any home video, it's crazy. Like there's music blasting. It's like you can barely hear us talking on the home videos. It's like 4 years old. MTV's always on. There was always house music going on in my house. Like my mum and dad, even now, like when I'm on my production, they'll come over and listen to my songs. They absolutely love it. So for me, they were the influence. It was like bred into my mind because that was all I was listening to as I was growing up.
Wow, so
yeah,
it's been like electronic from day one almost.
Yeah, it's my parents' fault.
Well, interesting. We last week we had Chris on the podcast, and it was a similar thing. We're sort of getting into it that everything is kind of a reflection of what your parents give you.
Of course.
They kind of give you a taster, and you go from there. But I guess it kind of for you it started with electronic and it's carried on electronic.
Yeah. I've always been into music. Like when I was younger, like a teenager, I'd go to school every Sunday. I would sit and download YouTube Converter, download every song off UKF every Sunday. Incredible. It was like religion. I had to do it. And every party, my music would be on. And my dad would ring me and he'd be like, Flo, what are you doing? I'd be like, no, you can't ring me. My music's on at the party, as always. But yeah, it was always influenced, always.
Superb. So it's probably going to be, I can't tell it's going to be an easy question for you or a hard question because there's going to be so many choices now for you to choose from. You have such a good history of music in that brain. What would be the track you could pick out that stands out for you when you were growing up that sort of brought you into electronic music?
I remember when I was fully brought into it, I seen Annie Mac about 6 years ago at the O2 in Birmingham, and it was Breach, Everything You've Ever Had, and I remember I played it on repeat, and that was like for me the first like taster of it, and I was like, what is this? Like, I want to get into this.
Oh well, that's a great track as well.
Yeah,
great choice.
yeah.
Very cool choice.
Yeah, it was a good song. I listened to it forever.
I did say before we came on, it doesn't have to be a cool choice, but it's just automatically being a cool choice. That's that your sound kind of reflects that track as well. I think still in a lot of the sets I've seen you play. So that's an interesting choice.
Yeah, it's good.
So you recently performed at Made Festival.
Yeah.
How was it?
Yeah, it was good. The stage was unreal. It was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good, man.
So what sort of set did you play there? Because I've seen you play a lot of times. And I've kind of say you don't always have like a set you repeat. It's always quite different.
Yeah, I like
in the tone as well and the energy.
Yeah. So like every time before I play, I'll always find new music. I find it all week. I will always, every time I play, I'll have like my selection, which I know will go down well, but I'll always bring new stuff in every time I play.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, you've got to keep it fresh, haven't you? So
Yeah, no, you do, yeah. I see on a lot of your socials as well, you have quite a good collection of vinyl.
Yeah.
Do you ever play out with a vinyl?
Yeah, play vinyl,
You
yeah.
do?
If the opportunity arises,
Yeah.
obviously sometimes you'll request it and you get feedback on the speakers and stuff. But yeah, if I can play it, I will play it, yeah.
Have you done any vinyl-only sets?
No, I've never. I've been
Not yet.
meaning to record a vinyl-only set recently, but I've never played vinyl-only set. I would love to play a vinyl-only set.
Oh, well, okay, so this is a shout out to some promoters.
Yeah.
Can we have some more vinyl?
Who's going to do it?
Can we get Fleur Shore some vinyl-only sets, please? Oh, my God. So I think we'll talk about this now, if that's okay. So you have residencies after dark.
Yeah.
Cracking event.
Yeah, absolutely mint.
Really cool event,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah. And I think we both started at the Rainbow with Tom Shorters getting us in there for 2:31. Mr. Jangles, or was that a little bit before?
I've played for Jangles once in the cellar before it stopped.
Real? Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. And how do you find After Dark? 'Cause that's obviously a little bit different from most events.
Yeah.
As it starts at the end of the night. It's
Yeah,
sort of a half after party, half
after
event.
party, yeah. Yeah, it's brilliant.
How does
I
that
love the
differ for
event.
you?
Yeah, I don't, because I always sort of, from the time that I play, like when I get given my set time, I'll make sure I work things to that set time.
Yeah.
So it's like I'll always work it around the time.
That's it's cool to hear a DJ talk about that they are really working for the time.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
they're not just working on, I want to push this music right now.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. You have to, like, if it's warm, you have to build it. If it's halfway through, you can't be exactly going in with absolute bangers because the person after you is going to be like, what have you just done?
Yeah.
So you have to make sure everything's always building.
You're creating that atmosphere
Yeah, of
for
course.
the night and not just for your set.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's great advice for any DJs listening to this.
You can't go in with bangers. Stop it.
You can't
Stop
go
doing it.
Cracking advice.
Yeah.
I think we've probably both been on the receiving end of coming off a set like,
Yeah.
right, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, my set's going to sound weird now.
Yeah.
So I would like to know kind of how you got into the Birmingham scene, because we touched on it, but it'd be nice to know a little bit more.
Yeah, so I was playing in Tamworth for a club called Hogtown,
Yeah.
and they booked Shorters to headline, and I took over from him. And it's crazy how this happened because the guys put me on first set, and I was like, no, I don't want first set. Like, I want to take over from Shorters. You don't even know this, so if you're listening, you now know. I was like, no, I want to take over. I wanted him to see me play, and they were like, no, we can't change the set. And I was like, well, it needs to be changed. And they rang me back like an hour, and they changed it, and it was like, it's crazy because if I wouldn't have said I want to change it, he wouldn't have met me. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously the way things have progressed since then is because of him. And yes, he's seen me play, and then I mixed the song, and he come up to me like, he was like, what's your name? Blah, blah, I told him my name, and he was like, have you heard of 231? I want you to play. And I was like, yeah, of course I've heard of 231. And that's how the ball got rolling with Shorters. And then obviously we play back to back sometimes, and it's mint. We really smash it together. We've got a good energy together. Yeah.
He kind of brings people together, doesn't he?
Yeah, of course. He brings people together, and that's how I met Callum as well. Obviously, Callum's my manager, and I'm signed to Elevate Artists, and that's how we met because he was also a resident, and without Shorters connecting us together, then we wouldn't have met.
Yeah, I wouldn't know you two either.
Yeah,
If it wasn't
exactly, and
Shorters
we wouldn't be
bringing
here right
231.
now doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very cool how these things work out.
Shorters is basically a god.
There you go, Tom. There you go.
You're welcome.
I don't need to fuel his ego anymore. No, but he is a cracking guy, and I feel like he's always got time to have a chat with you.
Yeah.
Always got time for everyone.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
Repping it.
Oh, brilliant. So just touching on your DJing again, but where you started with it, because I know you've had electronic music from your early years.
Yeah.
Where did you begin with it?
So it was my 18th birthday, and my little cousin played. He DJ'd, so he was into it.
Yeah.
And he had this tiny little tractor controller, and he played from that. And I seen him play, and I sort of, even obviously it was my 18th party and I was drunk and stuff, but I remember seeing the way he sort of controlled the dance floor, and everybody absolutely loved it. And I thought, this is crazy. Like, I could get into this and make this, well, didn't even think about making it a success. Like, I just thought I could get into this. So I remember my mum got me one for Christmas. It was probably like 2014, 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. And I remember I sat on Christmas Day for hours, just sat with my back bent over, leaning on this tiny little table because I had nowhere else to put it. And I was just literally trying to learn to mix. I was absolutely awful. It was awful, but I just kept going with it and kept going with it. And then eventually it's like something just clicked in my mind and I just understood the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then things started to progress and I obviously started, well, I was going out anyway, but like going to the raves, seeing how people control the dance floor and like, it was always good, but it was like, how is someone doing something different? Like, I wanted to, people were mixing songs into songs, but I sort of wanted to give that different edge to it and sort of, when people are on the dance floor, sort of like, this is different. Like, I haven't heard someone do this before. So when I play and stuff, I like to use 3 decks and always use 3 decks, like always putting acapellas over stuff to just keep people engrossed and entertained because that's the only reason they're there for, isn't it? To enjoy it and be entertained.
For sure.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, I was about to ask you. So I've seen you use 3 decks a few times, lots of looping.
Yeah.
Shortening and extending all the loops, and it's so cool to see. It's
Yeah.
quite inspirational for me as well. I've gone back and said, oh, I want to know how to do this now.
Yeah.
What? How did that come about? Was it just something you were feeling, or have you gone and practiced it, or you've seen something?
Yeah, so I practiced a little bit, but I just feel like it sort of has actually come quite natural to me, like with the acapellas and stuff. Like, always want to make sure people are intrigued with what I'm doing and interacting with what I'm doing, because if you're just going to keep like mixing song into song, people can get bored quite easily. So you've got to make sure that everyone, even that one person that stood there on the dance floor, everyone is all together and just enjoying that song and they're a bit engrossed with what I'm doing.
Yeah. So you've kind of, you know the technology backwards, and from there on you can experiment with what you want because it's just an automatic
of course
reaction for you.
You've got to experiment and do things different, otherwise you will easily get forgotten about.
New DJs, listen up, this is sound advice.
Be different and do something different, otherwise you will fall back.
Let's move on a little bit to talk about a bit of the Hannah Wants DJ competition that you won, and that's a big congratulations. Now, probably seems like a long time ago, but it was only 2 years ago.
I think it was November 2017. Nearly 2 years ago.
How does it feel to, I guess, not only have won a national competition, but also from someone who's quite a champion of Birmingham herself, Hannah Wants?
It's like a cycle, isn't it? It's crazy, but so I won it in November 2017, and then we met and we got on really well, and we had a good connection, so she just took me on the tour again. But the tour was crazy.
So
very crazy.
Where did you perform on the tour?
So I was in Ireland, London, Birmingham. What was that other place called? Lincoln.
This is why I'm here.
Is that it? 1, 2. Oh, and Wales, and Swansea and Cardiff.
Cardiff?
Swansea and Cardiff.
Cardiff,
Yeah, Swansea and Cardiff. What?
Oh, what an incredible experience for you.
Yeah, that was really good.
Is that the first experience of like a tour for you at that point?
Yeah, it was heavy.
Heavy.
A lot of partying and a lot of,
Oh, superb. Good. And how's have you remained in touch with Hannah?
Yeah, we speak quite a lot,
Oh, well, have you played again with each other?
No, we haven't played. Oh, actually, Gay Pride, we played. I played after her on the Mixed Mag stage.
Was that this year? Or
that was in May.
Oh, superb. Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about Undergrowth, which is an event curated by yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, the name speaks for itself a little bit, but I'm sure people would like to hear a bigger description. And also, why do you think Birmingham needed the event as well? Just a little twist on that question.
So I think Birmingham needed Undergrowth because it's not just about the music. The whole concept of Undergrowth is that we are all connected and we are one. And I sort of wanted to bring that concept into life. Like, that is my concept on life. So I thought, how can I bring this and sort of connect people and let people know that this is actually what's going on? Because obviously people go out and you listen to music and everybody likes to get quite on it, don't they? But I sort of want to actually bring it back to connecting people, and I like that. It's like as well the sound that I'm pushing. It's like a dubby sort of sound, like housey sound. So I want to bring people together with that dubby sound and realise that when we are actually dancing there, we are all connected as one. It's crazy. Like if you actually look at it deeper, everybody's so in tune on that same frequency, and we're all just together.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a description.
Yeah. So that's what Undergrowth is.
It's great to hear you talk so passionately about
Yeah,
it as well. It shows in the events as well.
Yeah.
How's it been going for you in terms of running it?
Yeah, really, really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are announcing the event in 2 days. We've got someone flying over from Holland, so
Wow.
yeah,
Very
it's
cool.
going to be very good.
Can you say who yet, or is
Not
it?
yet.
No. Okay, that's
2
fine.
more
That's fine.
days,
2
and
more
people
days.
will know.
2 more days.
Yeah.
And do you have a sort of anything you can tell me about the next 12 months? What the next 12 months looks for you?
Yeah, so we just want to keep pushing the event. So we're going to do another party in December time with all the residents. And then in the next 12 months with the party, we just want to keep going, get bigger headliners and, yeah, just keep doing it like that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Give us a little shout out to your residents if you want.
Yeah. Ryan Nichols, James and George Masters, all dons, big dons.
All done, yeah. Oh, Ryan Nichols.
Yeah.
What a DJ.
Yeah.
Have you seen he's just got a vinyl release as well?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Wow, man.
We're all on a group chat and it's, insane.
I think that's going to be a life goal for me to get a track on.
Vinyl
release on
only.
vinyl.
Yeah,
God.
it's unreal, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they always sell out as well.
I don't know if it's like a certain release, like 200 release or something, but
It's hard to buy. Do you find as someone else who buys and collects vinyl, it's quite difficult to get hold of some of these releases?
yeah, of course.
I feel like
You have to be on the, make sure you're checking your emails weekly.
really. Sometimes I check them. I
Yeah.
click on it and I've got it. I don't know, within an hour, and they've already sold out.
Already gone, I know. You have to set alarms.
I'm getting annoyed about it now.
You got to be on it, man.
I know. So, what do you see for Undergrowth in a more of a long-term goal?
So for me, I would love to get Undergrowth over to Ibiza, potentially Ibiza Underground. So that is the target for me
Wow,
with
incredible.
Undergrowth, yeah. Because that just,
And it's,
definitely.
I know that you talked about bringing everyone together and bringing new artists in.
Yeah.
And you had had Rossi come on and play for you before
Yeah.
anyone else.
Yeah, so I just like to dig deep for my tunes, and I found Rossi just through looking for songs, and I thought, who's this guy? And then I remember I played for Studio 338 for Sankeys, and I seen him play with Pat Wilson, and I was like, yeah, I need to bring him up. And then for Undergrowth, I booked Pat Wilson, he come up, and then we got Rossi to come up then from London, but his music is insane. Yeah. He's created. I feel like he's created a whole new sound within himself. His bass lines are ridiculous.
Yeah, incredible producer.
Yeah.
And it's great that you're bringing new people to Birmingham.
Yeah.
It's great to see big DJs, but sometimes I find they bring a lot of the same names.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Surely if you're going to put on a new event, you need to make it different.
Yeah.
And obviously the concept's different, and I want to bring in new DJs that have never been in Birmingham before. Because it keeps it fresh, of course.
And is there any other little bits and pieces for Undergrowth that's coming?
Yeah, so we're starting the label maybe at the back end of this year or the start of next year. So we're going to get all the residents involved in the label, and we just want to really give it a go and push a new sound.
Oh man, you're going to have some cracking productions there from those residents.
And it's because we've formed relationships with some of the headliners as well, so potentially get those on the release and remixes, and it's going to be a very, very big...
Oh, I'm very excited about this.
Yeah.
Can I get on the promo list, please?
Yeah, of course.
Yes. You heard it on here, so you can't deny it now. You started out as a DJ.
Yeah.
But I think you've really found yourself as a DJ now.
Yeah.
Obviously getting bigger and bigger, going forward. I see you in the studio making a lot of things. I've seen you with Tommy Vassetti recently.
Yeah, so I went on a course with him, it was really good.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And have you got any tunes lined up ready for release, or are you just heavily concentrating on production?
Yeah, so at the minute I'm just trying to stack all my songs, so when I do get that first release and sort of people notice the sound that I'm releasing, that I can just keep the ball rolling with it all then.
Yeah.
So I want like a backlog.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing for any producer, is to keep up the momentum.
Yeah.
Or a DJ as well, trying to keep up bringing those mixes out.
Yeah.
Because while you're hot, it really does help.
That's what I mean,
It really does help,
Yeah.
and that's a good question actually. What is maybe your favourite record you're playing out at the moment, or a record you know that's going to go off every time?
So there's a song called Capiche Society, and on the breakdown, just as it breaks down, the kicks come in for like 8 bars, so heavy, and it's amazing. Like the pad, so it warms up really nice, and then it just comes in, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, what the hell is this? Like, what's going on?" But yeah, it's like really like a euphoric song. It's amazing.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of like sort of like a 90s reflection.
Yeah,
in there.
sort of.
Hands in the air.
Yeah, sort of like wow.
Brilliant. So have you got any advice you'd give to any upcoming DJs, any upcoming producers?
Yeah, so I think the main one for me is to just be a nice, genuine person, and if you're not, you will soon get found out. And of course, know your music and know how to warm up.
Yeah.
Don't just play what you want to play because you want to play it.
Yeah.
Like, you have to know how to set the room.
Work hard.
Work hard, of course.
Work hard.
Yeah. Work
without
hard.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, superb. And is any gigs you've got coming up that we can catch you at?
Yep. So I am playing at this Ent Berlin on the 25th of March, and then also September the 1st I'm playing in Budapest for Budapest. Yeah. And then October 2nd I'm in Cardiff too again.
Cardiff?
Yeah.
Cardi B or Cardiff?
Cardiff.
Cardi
Yeah.
B.
Cardi B.
And have you got a date for Undergrowth?
Yes, it's the 12th of October.
Yeah, correct.
Correct. That's
I did
Callum
just have
on
to
the
look to my
podcast.
left and check
Manager
that was right.
Oh, brilliant. Have you got a song that makes you think of your parents or your parents' taste in music?
Yes. Brothers and Sisters, I think it's called To Funk, and that is my mum's song all over. I remember I played at Glass about 6 months ago. About 6 months ago, and I played it. And I was like, yes. And my mum was there, and she was like, yeah, that's her song. She absolutely loves it.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice to hear you've got a song that makes you think of your parents.
Yeah.
And in terms of your DJing, have you got any long-term goals you're looking to achieve? Anything you're looking to?
Yeah, so my biggest goal is to play for Circo Loco at DC10.
Yes.
Like, that is my biggest goal, and it's going to happen, man, because I've told myself it's going to happen. So that's what I want, definitely. And just to get the releases, and I'd love to go for Noir, Piv, Fuse potentially. But yeah, there's some big names I've got in my head, and I really want to go for it.
Yeah. To me, I think you're going to have these goals, no problem.
Yeah.
You really have taken off, and it's you've only gone from strength to strength, and every set I've seen you, it's just been really, really good.
Yeah, thank you.
So just
Yeah.
keep going, man.
Yeah.
You're really going to do well.
Yeah, I work hard, so let's see it reflect.
Yeah, you see it. You see you're working really hard. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on this podcast.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
It's really great to get another perspective and someone else from Birmingham as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
See you soon.
Bye.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that podcast. It was a pleasure having Fleur Shore come to talk to us. Big thanks to her. All of the tracks that she talks about in the podcast will be available on our Spotify playlist very soon. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast and rate 5 stars. You can find us on our socials at Beat Brings Us, or alternatively, you can drop us an email at beatbringsustogether@gmail.com. Please send in any questions you'd like me to ask future guests or any feedback you have. I'd love to hear it. Thanks, and until next time, you've been listening to Beat Brings Us Together podcast with me, Luke Hassan.